Ladies and gentlemen, in our third and final session, you can learn how we support and enable customers from various industries via Fujitsu technologies, innovations, and expertise for SAP HANA to become ready for future requirements regarding digital business, big data analytics, connected enterprises, or Internet of Things. Our first speaker, Rainer Hettinger, has more than 25 years of experience in IT architecture, SAP Datacenter solutions and services, and is member of the Fujitsu Global Delivery Team focused on SAP solutions and services. Our second speaker, Mr. Prasad Mokul, has over 16 years of industry experience. He started his career as end customer support engineer handling desktop and server infrastructure and gradually moved to pre-sales and solution architect role. A big round of applause for both of them, please. Before we begin the presentation, let's have a look at the screens.
Digital transformation will have a huge impact on society as a whole and on the business world in particular. It will radically change the way companies develop products and serve customers. New markets and competitors will emerge overnight. Tried and trusted business models will be rendered obsolete. So what can you do to future-proof your enterprise? SAP S4 HANA will help you pave the way for success in the digital age. It enables a powerful combination of analysis, simulation and forecasting, giving you actionable information in real time and helping you make the right decisions for your business. Access vital facts and figures via a user-friendly interface, anywhere, anytime, via any device. Generate made-to-measure reports without the need for specialist IT skills, quickly, easily and simply. Save costs by streamlining your processes and simplifying your SAP landscape from the very first day of deployment. Fujitsu and SAP S4 HANA will enable you to access more and better data faster and will ensure you have all the information you need whenever you need it. The SAP S4 HANA platform and Fujitsu's SAP HANA experts will help you squeeze maximum value out of your data. Whether SAP Consulting, Big Data Analytics, Process Optimization, SAP Hosting, or the right operating mode, Fujitsu offers you all the flexible advice and assistance you need. As one of the very first official SAP HANA partners, we have a unique skill set based on our hands-on experience gained in hundreds of successful SAP HANA projects. Discover the exciting possibilities with your very own data. In joint workshops, we will analyze your situation, identify opportunities, and develop scenarios in line with your specific business imperatives. Future-proof your business for the digital age with SAP S4 HANA and Fujitsu.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay, it's a pleasure to be here for presenting together with my Indian colleague the SAP view, how customers can move towards digital business. So, introduction was already done, so we can straight away go to our agenda. I first would like to have a short look on one slide what Fujitsu and SAP does together, how SAP and we see the development towards digital business if customers work with SAP, and in what way Fujitsu can, with technologies and innovations, and of course also with services, help customers. The special thing here is then we want to look what customer really achieved who worked with us, so we will have three examples of customers and can see what they did together with us and what they achieved. So, just to make an overview what we do with SAP, we are SAP partners since more than 40 years, and even 44 years you can say. The very first customer that SAP had was a mainframe branded Siemens for a German customer. Even at that time the technology came from Fujitsu. So we accompany the customer since that time over all the, I would not say up and downs, but all the waves of things regarding technology, also regarding services, also hosting and cloud. Even we don't have our own hosting and cloud practice here in India, but we work with partners on that. One thing what we drive is mainly innovations, and one of the key innovation of the last 5 years was HANA. We even worked with SAP on HANA long before it was launched, so even under NDA for developing the key technologies to allow new things like this Internet of Things, what is a typical example for this digital business. What you as customer partners is of course more interested is not only the technology, but also the experience we can bring in for your projects. So we have much more than 10,000 customers worldwide, not only here in India, but everywhere. We work with partners together. That is a very important thing with technology partners, but also with service partners of choice. And for us, that is, I think, a very important thing. We don't deliver you a box, as many people sometimes say, you need for HANA just a box. We deliver an end-to-end project. That means quality, and also we know what we are talking about. And also here you see we act global and regional as a team. That's also the reason why the two of us stand here on the booth.
So Rainer, I have a question.
Yes?
On the previous slide. So did we just say that the world's first SAP customer ran on Fujitsu technology platform, right?
First. Yeah. Okay, so in that way, we have a long experience on that.
Absolutely.
Also, this underlines it that is only for the ones who are not so familiar with the history of SAP. Of course, SAP became famous with the ECC, with the R3 and all that stuff. HANA, they drove since 2011. And today, if customers start new, they start, of course, with S/4HANA, and we accompanied them in all their times. I only stole or took one slide from SAP to understand and make the connector here what SAP understands on digital business. Of course, everybody has different expectations and things. What SAP says is, of course, they want to help customers to do better decisions, faster decisions, so to accelerate a lot of things. Also to change processes, what also our team in the services help to change processes, and maybe even change business models, what was presented in the keynotes. If a hospital, for example, works as Andy presented, this is of course a different business model, or these Uber or Olas have a different business model. If a customer works with SAP and want to achieve that, he needs HANA. That's, of course, the thing that SAP pushes the customer in that way, but on the other hand, if you want to achieve that, you also need to have the basis, and one of the bases is that the technology innovation called in-memory technology was one of the enabler for SAP and for you as customer to do that. And for this technology, we as long-term partner of SAP can help you to go on this journey wherever you start.
So just on a count of hands, I think, I just want to know how many customers over here are using SAP in their existing landscape?
Oh, quite some, but I think also for the ones who are not using SAP, this might be interesting because SAP, of course, set trends. They were the first on in-memory technology. So also for benchmark of our servers, SAP is always the proof point how capable a system is. And in the customer situations here or everywhere, we usually have the case, okay, these are either customers who run SAP since 10 years or many years, so, or customers who start new with SAP. If a customer starts new, they will definitely start with S/4HANA, with the latest software. For customers who run SAP since long, of course, it's a migration, and also this migration we can support. What is key, and that is the thing what we as Fujitsu offer, on this journey or transformation, we provide you with everything around the technology, so that is much more than hardware or boxes where the people talk about. So this will be also the key thing for the discussion there. You also had on the services presentations in the afternoon. Of course, you also need a partner who does services for that and innovations. You found a lot of innovations what Fujitsu brings. And on the next slide, I brought some examples. So what we look a little bit deeper on is all the technologies that we provide. We have 2 flagship solutions with our infrastructure solution for HANA and our operation solutions called FlexFrame. The key thing, what we help, and that is important, we had also in Mumbai a lot of discussions with service partners. They say, okay, we know the services, but we need somebody who understands all the technology that this gives one gut for the customer, end to end. Otherwise, you struggle that the things are not synchronized. And on the technology side, one key thing what you have to consider if you think about HANA is that HANA is only available on Linux. Most of the SAP customer knows that. The fact that SAP developed HANA already starting 10 years back on Linux, I would say was a very visionary decision. At that time it was still maybe techie stuff, Linux, but the fact is that Linux gives you a very cost-efficient platform with x86. And when you consider, when you ask somebody what is the price for 1 terabyte today, you can consider that next year for the same price you may get 2 terabyte, and if we meet again in 3 years, 64 terabyte, more or less for same price. And as the technology of SAP is to bring as much of possible data into the RAM, this trend goes exactly in that direction. If you want to buy 1 terabyte on a high-end Unix system, the price would be much more higher, so it's not affordable or too expensive. On the services, I only briefly mentioned that because it was mentioned in other things. Of course, we help customers in the migration, also in the implementation for S/4HANA. We have AMS managed services, cloud or HANA services, also on the K5, not yet here in India, but in other regions. And on the innovations, you see, we have new technologies. You may saw outside these Palm Secure, Palm Vein readers. We even have a solution that is connected with SAP that you inside the application re-authentify yourself, that it can only be you who gives the order for 10K or 100K, not somebody who stole your password or used your PC when you're at the toilet. Another thing that directly connects to the presentation before, of course, SAP also think about connecting the SAP data with a lot of non-SAP data. And then, of course, everybody is talking about Hadoop big data. So here the connection is about a new product that SAP launched last year that is called HANA Vora. And that also brings the teamwork between us. We in Fujitsu Global Competence Center in Walldorf, we are a team of about 50 Fujitsu experts looking always on new things or on things that need to be provided and tested. And this HANA Vora and Hadoop is one of the projects where we work with early adapters to make that ready for the broad market. The servers are, of course, always then certified and available with latest Intel technology. These are things that are more, let's say, project specific, but in that way we try to be always at the pulse what SAP offers. Also regarding these new things on IoT, connected enterprise, and fraud prevention. Just 2 slides on our flagship solutions. If you think about using SAP in the data center together with Fujitsu, our first solution is under the PrimeFlex umbrella. You learned earlier from Mehul and the colleagues. PrimeFlex is our umbrella solution and branding for integrated solution. We integrate in this solution everything what you need to run HANA. And this can be, on one hand, this appliance, what was SAP only available in the beginning, so a predefined and certified stack of operating system, server, storage. What we even more see that many customers go on the customized solution, what is called tailored data center integration. This consists, of course, on the same servers that we certify for appliance, but gives you more, let's say, capability to integrate what you, for example, already have. I just learned we won 2 months back via a partner here in India, a customer who said, I do it on a customized CDI because he already had the storage, so he only had to buy the servers. So we also are clever to bring you into onto that platform with attractive offers. The key thing is that we integrate it. We not sell you a box or just the hardware. We consult you, and that is also the work that Prasad and Abdul and the colleagues are doing here. So we look, what do you have, where do you stand, and how you come from A to B. How is the step then to SAP, S4 HANA, and in using, of course, our proven technology and certified technology with PrimeFlex, Primacy and PrimeQuest, we can have all from small up to 6 terabyte or even multi-node configurations to adopt new technologies. One example, what I can give for this brand that maybe everybody knows is a famous suit maker Hugo Boss. When they decided 2 years back, they decided to go for SAP HANA with CRM and a car that is a retail application. They were not a Fujitsu customer at that time, but we worked together with them and with their integration partner to implement it, and all on our platform. It was a TDI project. So in that way, we have a lot of experience in big and small projects to deliver you the fitting solution. Just one thing on the second flagship solution that we have, PrimeFlex for SAP Landscape. It's powered on, and that is the branding from the past also, or still the branding FlexFrame Orchestrator as our solution, is a complete operational platform. So you can run on one operational cockpit SAP HANA and non-SAP HANA customers. Out of this appliance introduction from SAP, in the first years, customers always said, oh, this HANA is like a silo in my data center, but I have already something. So here, that is also all running on Linux and integrates operation. We have also a very successful solution, especially for bigger customers who run more than 20, 30 system IDs from SAP. Okay, but the key thing we want to bring over is experience from customers, and in that way I hand over for the first customer case to Prasad and also give you some impressions that these are customers we already run here.
Thanks, Rainer. I think first of all, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all again. You know, that's the version 1 of Fujitsu World Tour, which is happening in Bangalore, and we are very glad to have you over here. And another thanks to making this stage pretty much stronger, because you see, as a Indo-German, you know, team, he's a fitter German and I'm the healthy Indian out of here. Yeah. Don't ask me my bad habits. My boss knows that.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but I think you know, the key here is you know, as we are talking about making the business digital, right from the so I think the one of the very key aspect to that is how do we look at you know, specifically for the customers who are already running SAP. You know, you need to undergo a lot of I would say consultancy process, because moving from a classical SAP landscape to HANA, okay, it demands certain adaptability towards changes, right? So you know, the database transformation happens from maybe a Unix system or even possibly a Windows system to a Linux system, right? So that is something which needs to be adopted in terms of skill sets. Another adoption which happens is on a very strong network infrastructure. That is something what brings in you know, you have to look at movement towards a very strong 10 gig platform, because in a HANA specific data center environment, whatever we call it as the east to west traffic within the data center, that is a server to server communication that predominantly starts happening on a 10 gig. So these are the certain, you know, adaptabilities which are very crucial as a part of, you know, the strategy, how you want to build up the platform to make your business digitized. Another aspect is you know, we start getting into a completely different way in terms of, you know, we take the HANA backups. You know, it's not the way the traditional backups which happens over the SAP BR tools. So you have to adopt to something new, different strategies altogether. So many facets which you have to undergo, and can we go back to the previous slide? So all these customers, you know, we engaged into that particular process. Okay, it was not just a push for X amount of terabyte of memory or something like that. We had to get into a very grueling discussions in terms of, you know, how their SAP landscapes are going to behave. You know, what are the throughputs, what are the kind of performances which are expected from them. You know, how we are going to wove and stitch everything together from the solution perspective. And it has been a great success for us. You know, for last 3 years, SAP Infrastructure Solutions has been one of the key, you know, contributor for our infrastructure solution business. And I think I would like to share one case study which is India specific. You know, this is Sterlite Technologies. So as we said, you know, we have a the way we handle the SAP opportunities are basically consult, build, you know, run and operate. That's basically the theme in terms of you know, handling the SAP solution. So we got into the Sterlite Technologies somewhere in October 2013. Okay, where the first thing was to understand the pain areas. Okay, and the first thing was they had aging systems. Okay, they were trying to do a lot of things manually. They had certain systems which were peripheral to their core SAP business. Okay, so they had a lot of workflow applications which were sitting also on the aging infrastructure. So absolutely, that time SAP was ready in terms of the business suite on HANA version, right? So that was a very, I would say, aggressive step in terms of running the OLTP applications in memory, right? So that was the first movement in terms of we moved them from their HPUX systems and Oracle as a database to HANA. We built them a very agile platform for their peripheral applications on virtualization with VMware, high-speed network, right? And that's how basically the entire solution was built. And for us, it was again a outright turnkey solution delivery, which constituted in terms of, you know, the SAP licenses, the very strong infrastructure platform. We even did the migration, so it was a complete show about the entire Fujitsu skill set, you know, in terms of getting the delivery done to the customer from the solution expectation. And what was the achievements? You know, I think one key was very critically we had a lot of you know, tight hands in terms of the delivery of the project. So we took care of the hardware deliveries, the timely installation, the infrastructure implementation team as well as the migration team working joining hands, working very cohesively with the customer, and delivering the project in the right timelines. What was the achievement of the customer? Indeed, you know, he moved on to the a very I would say progressive in-memory platform, right? He started enjoying a lot of quicker reporting mechanism. But I think that was the first thing. What happened was we were able to build a baseline infrastructure and application the platform for them to now start looking at a digitized manufacturing process, because this customer is a core manufacturer, okay? So that means now they can integrate, they can capture a lot of data from their manufacturing systems, bring it to the ERP, run certain SAP XMI tools, okay, which gives them the very critical information how their machines are behaving, okay? Can they optimize their shop floor, okay? That would give them a much more better manufacturing process. So that is the kind of the journey what they are walking right now in terms of from a normal manufacturer to a smart manufacturer process. And that is what, you know, kind of the digitization journey what we are talking about, because there is a baseline platform, there is a very beautiful and numero uno application standpoint, and when the customer moves into S4, okay, there are so many mobility applications over the Fiori which you are going to get, right? So that is a lot of things which you are able to achieve on the move. So that is something, you know, getting into the digitization process of the business from the manufacturer's standpoint, right?
Okay.
So I think I give it
Yeah.
for Nakila.
I think, yeah, we just go to a next case, and I just go to the key points. The next project we help customer to enable digitalization is a project from the Middle East. The company is called Nakilat. They are the key transport company who transport this liquefied natural gas. I think they have the third largest worldwide fleet in the world. And that was a customer who had a data center, very distributed, a lot of different disconnected processes. So the first thing what they needed to do is to consolidate everything. They decided they do everything application-wise regarding HANA, because they already had HANA in an old SAP in an old version. And they looked for a partner who does the infrastructure, then the migration, and also the services. So they want to have especially collision-free project that runs very smooth. And of course, they expected that with HANA they can do faster decisions and better decisions and manage their complex landscape. And what they have achieved is that they migrated in time, also even in budget, and they could, out of the consolidation of these 3 data centers in 2 disaster recovery data center, in reducing the let's say the licenses and everything in one thing, they could halve their IT spendings. But not only that, so they also are now in the situation, and that is a connector to this digital business, to do things that they were never able to do before. So they do a lot of things for their end user using this SAP Fiori application. And what they right now do, hopefully also together with us as we plan that, is that they do a maintenance on all their vessels. They have about 100 vessels going all around, and do all the maintenance mobile, and then integrate everything, the reports and the status real time in their data center based on SAP and HANA and powered by Fujitsu. So these are things that they could not do before, and in that way we enabled them. The last project I only take brief is a German parcel service. Also they run SAP since long. They started with ERP and especially with business warehouse for SAP to streamline their processes. In that way, they also run on our PrimeFlex for HANA platform, hosted in a data center in Germany, where Fujitsu has own hosting and cloud practice. And what they achieved is, of course, faster data, better decision, but they can also do additional things like tracking of the parcels and all that stuff. So I keep that a little bit short because we run a bit out of time. The thing I want to say is, if you think about doing HANA, you can rely on Fujitsu out of several reasons. So one thing is we give you the full choice. We have, you saw these different delivery models, appliance, TDI, all kind of technology, E5, E7 based from Intel, and we are always on the pulse of the new available technology. We have a lot of references, not only here in India, as you saw, but we have worldwide, I think, between 600 and 700 SAP customers running on our platform with HANA, from the very small ones up to the big ones, like I mentioned with BOSS. Also SAP runs our platform. One key point I want to address here is that if you run with us and also here on x86 technology, especially compared if you run, for example, a Power Platform today for HANA, you are on the safe side on the strategy, because one thing you should know is that the over next generation of Intel will provide a special feature that is called a so-called non-volatile memory. And this non-volatile memory solves the need that we have today. If the power of the server is gone, the data in the RAM are gone. And that's the reason that SAP has a special thing, you know, this system replication, to replicate all the SAP logs in this case, would not happen so often. But that means if that will come in the next 2 years, this will be, let's say, a next paradigm shift. And if you work with us, you have that as soon as it's available. So we also work with Intel and SAP and have NDA workshops on that. So also strategic-wise, not only hardware-wise, we are really at the pulse of time. It also, we can prove all our solutions are running on Linux since many years. FlexFrame was developed more than 10 years back on Linux. We were co-founder of the Linux Lab. The very first ever published benchmark for SAP on Linux was on a Fujitsu Primacy in 1999. So you see, we are always ahead or try to be ahead. And we can also claim that we have a very attractive TCO for our solutions. If you add additionally our FlexFrame operation system, you can also gain some services, some savings. And for this, of course, here Prasad and we from the global team and also the others say, we have the experience. We take you as a customer not to sell you something, we want to be a partner together with you. And we can also prove that we have very high quality in delivering the project, not only the technology. And I think that is especially in SAP a very important thing. I'm now in Walldorf for more than 15 years, and I know a lot of customers who are coming regular to see SAP or us and ask us for advice, a second opinion, say, SAP is pushing us to go for HANA. Shall we go? What does it mean? We can tell and analyze what is required. And we have not only the IT, but also the service capabilities to do that. So last but not least, why we can be a good partner for you. We provide, as you know, technology and innovations. You see it all over in this event. We can prove it. We are 80 years in the business, and we also have the right partnerships. You saw Intel, NetApp, and all the guys. But you will not take a decision for SAP and HANA only because it's a nice technology or you replace a database from Oracle to HANA. The thing is, you will then decide and you will then get the money from your CEO if you can improve your business. And improve means not only having the reports faster, but more and more changing the business model, all the things that is behind digital business. And we understand and can help you in the customer value for that on the IT side, and the technology side, and on the services side. And that brings for you, of course, a value. You can use our experience. We have proven that we have very high quality projects. Our customers are available for references. So our role is not to sell you a hardware. We want to be your trusted advisor. And for many customers, we are that. Also here, I meet customers I met last year and the year before on the world tour. They, of course, claim and challenge me. What did you tell last year? Is it came true? So we stand for our word. And that means we can be an attractive and long-term partner for your SAP projects. So that was it from my side. We have, at the end of the slides that we share, a lot of information on videos, on flipbooks, and also a lot of cases, not only the 3 ones we mentioned here, Sterlite, Nakilat, and Deep German Parcel, but also others from regional, from here. Lulu Hypermarket is also present here in India, big retailer from Dubai. So in that way, as we run a bit out of time, I would say if you have 1 or 2 questions right away, we can do it here. Otherwise, Prasad and I are outside because the stage has to be changed. So, any question? Pardon? Yeah, it's technology advisory services for the infrastructure, yes.
The thing is, here the TDI model has got a limitation of 1.5 TB if I am right. The HANA appliance model is scalable, whereas the TDI model has certain limitations, if I am right. How Fujitsu can address this, or is there any solution built?
I would say we certify our systems for appliance and TDI model, and I would not see it like you that this has a limitation.
So what happens is TDI is a very broadly used term, okay? From a SAP standpoint, actually there are 3 categories in terms of TDI, okay? What you were mentioning is 1.5 terabyte, that means you're building up your HANA systems on E5 CPUs, that is on a 2-socket architecture.
Yeah.
That's where, because of the Intel architecture,
Yeah.
you cannot grow fundamentally beyond
Yeah.
1.5 terabyte. The challenge is even building up a 1.5 terabyte system on a 2-socket machine, okay? That means you are going to fundamentally use expensive 64 GB DIMMs that in my arithmetic calculation, that turns out to be hardly $200 cheaper than the E7 system, okay? So that is as far as the TDI on a lower CPU. Then you have the TDI, that means SAP allows your existing storage asset to be used as a common persistence area for multiple HANA appliances. That is called as a storage TDI. The third TDI is you have your existing networking infrastructure, okay? Yes. Like if you have already invested in your 10 gig switches or something like that, you can use those, okay? Typically the switching restriction is not for the single nodes, okay? But if you have a multi-node architecture, that means, you will have to use certain certified switches only, okay? Yeah. But SAP loosens that, restrictions where you can use your existing asset. That means you are able to bring in a lot of cost optimization in terms of overall project. So that is as far as TDI, okay? But the main crux is, what happens is certified, that means you are getting the infrastructure which is already certified on day one, okay? TDI requires certain, per se, smartness, okay, where SAP gives you a tool to measure the performance post your installation has been built up, right? So that's where the expertise come in, that we are delivering you, okay, the infrastructure with our expertise, that we feel that infrastructure will easily pass the HWCCT tool test, okay? And that's where we bring in the expertise to you. Okay. Where we're building up the TDI systems.
Irrespective of whether it is certified by SAP or otherwise.
Okay. So TDI certification as per SAP notes is always a customer-driven activity. Yeah. However, we participate that as a technology partner, okay? Yeah. That we give you that kind of the assurance that there is a baseline in terms of thought process, how we are approaching that particular solution, okay? Yeah. And we stand behind you in terms of, we make sure that whilst you are going to run that HWCCT tool, the multiple various KPIs which are built into that tool, in terms of CPU performance, in terms of disk performance, IO performance, everything. If all becomes green, you are certified.
Can we continue that outside? Because we have to leave the stage for rebuild for the panel discussion. So I don't want to be polite.
We will be more than glad to have the questions outside.
So in that way, we thank you for your participation, and we are happy to answer your questions right away. All questions. Thank you.